Hey friends, Pastor Fieberkorn here with you with Tuesdays with Marty. Missed you last week. I was actually out of town. I had the good privilege and honor of speaking as a keynote speaker at the Kansas District Pastors Conference in Topeka. And so I was out of town for a couple days. It was a really good experience. I think it was well received. They asked me to speak on some of the material in my book, which, although it released less than a year ago, it feels like ancient history already. So it was good to kind of revive some of that and be in dialogue with others, and it was fine. So I look forward to going to the Missouri District Pastors Conference next week, although I'm quite happy to say I won't be speaking there. I just get to participate. So, all right, well, our upcoming epistle reading, well, actually, we'll talk about that on Thursday. We're going to look at something by Martin Luther. I was kind of running out of some Luther quotes here, but if you ever notice, volume 55 of Luther's works in the American edition is called Table Talk. And various people who shared many meals with Martin Luther took time to write down and record actually some of the things that Luther would say or remark, after they'd finished eating, they'd kind of start talking theology. And so it's kind of interesting to see what Luther would say, sort of off the cuff, not systematically treating some book of the Bible or writing some treatise against a particular problem, but just sort of kibitzing with his fellow theologians. So this is actually the first table talk that's recorded in Luther's works, and I thought this was great. I opened the book to try to come up with something good for today, and this was the first one. It says, "When I'm troubled by thoughts which pertain to political questions or household affairs, I take up a psalm or a text of Paul and fall asleep over it." Now, this is appropriate, obviously, because we're 3 weeks out from a national election, a presidential election, and things always get pretty dicey this time of year. Every 4 years, we've been going through the campaigns and the debates and the political pundits, and there can be a lot of anxiety over who's going to lead our nation. Sometimes we feel like if the candidate we support doesn't get it, all feels lost. And anyway, tensions can run high. In our mind, we may worry about it. We may watch the news and hear what this or that candidate proposes to do, and anxieties can be heightened. So political questions are on our mind right now, but household affairs, I mean, my goodness, uh, raising kids, especially I've noticed when they get older, is difficult. But I know it doesn't end there. I know when your kids are off beginning their lives, that can be difficult, or when they're grown and have children of their own. And I realize that there's never this longed for peace in life where everything sort of feels settled and in place, and there's always going to be something to worry about, something to keep us up at night, to fret about. And of course, it's not good to do those things to the detriment of our faith or trust in God. So I'm not saying what Luther's proposing is novel here, but it's important to see Luther say this for two reasons. One is he was plagued by the same kind of issues and worries that we are. It's not like he was some superhero of the faith who never worried about anything, politics or issues in the family or household. He worried about those things too. And then, of course, his solution is not all that novel either, to turn to Scripture and God's Word. The Psalms are the most emotional book in the whole Bible. They can give expression to some of our anxiety and thoughts. They can be prayer language for us. Or a text of St. Paul, where he reminds us that Jesus is in control of all things in the entire world. And if somehow we can kind of turn our brain and our attention to those things, and let those things be the things that guide our thoughts before we go to sleep, maybe then we can, as the psalmist says in Psalm 5, lie down and sleep in peace. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. So listen, people have talked about many different things over the years to fall asleep, counting sheep, counting your blessings. Maybe another thing we can do is just turn to the language of Scripture and let some word from God ring in our ear before we close our eyes each night. All right, well, hey, that's a good Tuesdays with Marty. We'll see you later this week. God's continued peace to you, and enjoy this beautiful fall weather.